grew up on Disney and like, I always, thought like, okay, yeah, I'm gonna meet the love of my life in high school. I'm like head in the clouds,
It was love at first sight. 3, 2, 1.
Ooh.
I saw him in a grocery store when I was 15.
I saw her and she was a customer, and I was a stock boy, and so I stalked her to aisle 8, the cheese aisle. So yeah, I totally fell in love with her.
The whole entire school year, I sat right next to him, and I didn't say not one word to him. One of the last days of school, we were just doing our work, and he started singing. So I actually fell in love with his voice before anything.
It took us 2 years for us to start dating, so.
We've known each other for so long, since 2nd grade. I mean, I had several crushes on her growing up.
5th grade, I remember I really had a crush on him, but then my attraction towards him wavered throughout the years. But I think it was more of a feeling that the feeling of love towards him was kind of always there.
For us, we were 15, sophomore year of high school. We sat in diagonals. We would always look at each other and make eye contact from across the room, but nobody pursued anything. So that's why it kind of went to somewhat, because it was always there, but we didn't actually act on it until later on.
I said I love you first. 3, 2, 1.
It was 30 years ago,
Yep. I said it. Yep. And then she said it right after, so I said it first, so.
I don't know, it caught me off guard, honestly. I was like, what? Oh, I love you too.
I definitely said it first, and then I remember I was like, did you hear what I just said? Because she wasn't saying anything at all. I was like, oh no. And then you're like, yeah, I love you too.
I think I loved her first, but I didn't say it first. I think she said it first.
I probably did, but I just don't remember.
I'm more reserved, so I wouldn't have said it first.
You're never too young to fall in love. 3, 2, 1.
Too young is I don't know, 5, 6, before you really understand what love is. But once you old enough to start thinking about having a boyfriend, girlfriend situation, I think then you start to understand what love is, and that feeling that you get inside your chest.
I agree, so I'm gonna move over here. I feel the reason I was there was because I was thinking super young, but obviously no 6-year-old's gonna be falling in love.
Yeah.
But I feel for me, one of the struggles has been losing the stigma of being too young to be in love, where people are like, oh, you don't know, you don't really know. But I feel it's a feeling and you feel it. And it doesn't matter how old you are, if you met the person that you're in love with, then you're in love with that person.
I always saw myself marrying my high school sweetheart. 3, 2, 1.
I grew up on Disney and I always, thought okay, yeah, I'm gonna meet the love of my life in high school. I'm head in the clouds,
Yeah, I agree. I'm a romantic, so I always wanted to marry my high school sweetheart. I was always I hope I fall in love young and meet somebody. And then I was lucky enough to have it happen.
My parents taught me growing up, they had always said, make yourself established first, get a job, and then you can find somebody. So I think that's kind of why I'm here right here in the disagree.
I just distinctly remember conversations with her. I want to marry you, blah, blah, blah. Not really understanding the weight of that, but at the same time, it's when you have something so perfect right in front of you, why would you mess with anything else?
All of my family, they all met in high school, married their high school sweetheart. So it wasn't that it was foreign to me, but I knew when I met him, when I would write his name on my peachy folder, That's when it kind of came alive for me.
I didn't think I would be married at 21, which is a really young age. Plans changed, and we decided that we were going to get married at 21, and she was 19.
I mean, like, boys in high school were always like not the best, you know, like it's just like it's young, like we're so young. Like I was like, am I gonna marry this guy? Like I don't know. When I was in high school, I did have that feeling like I'm gonna marry him. Like even though we weren't together, I was like, I have a feeling like at the end of this, like I was gonna marry him. We're not married yet, but so eventually.
There was a time in the past where I thought we might break up. 3, 2, 1.
Being in a relationship for a long time, everyone gets in fights, and that's like a healthy and kind of negative part of a relationship. But personally, I view fights and arguments as kind of like building together with us. Like, yeah, there were times where we had, you know, pretty heavy arguments, but I think deep down I knew that we were still going to make it together.
I feel like we went from being children to being adults together. Obviously, there's going to be problems. You have to figure that out along the way. And I think that being at the breaking point, being like, I don't know if I can do this anymore, but then still choosing to be together is what makes you strong and is what makes you realize like this is the person, because a lot of people tend to give up, but I never wanted to give up. And I was like, no, like I want him and only him.
Why are you standing over there?
I would always say like I had so much growing up to do when I was younger, just like mental health wise and just everything that I just felt like I was a burden to you, or that I was like causing you a lot of pain, you know, like, oh my God, I don't want to cry. But you know, like just being a negative energy in your sphere. So I thought, you know, it's better for me just not to be with you so you could be happier. But then I stuck it through, you stuck through. That's the amazing part. It's like you stuck through, and you like, even through all my ups and downs, you're always there to get me through it, and just were always there, even though I was just like, it could be really mean or it could be very negative. But now we're in a better place where you've like taught me how to grow and stuff. So that's why I was like strongly agree, because not because it was never anything you did, it was more for me to like find myself and not have to hurt you in the process.
I mean, for our first year, it was rough. Like we were just like ships passing in the night. I mean, he was full-time working, full-time in college. I was going to school, working, and the challenges of being, you know, young new parents, and it was just, it was a rough first year. And I think there was a point where we both, I think that we both kind of thought like, are we gonna make this?
There was one distinct night where we fought so bad, because I mean, it was just a boiling point where our first son, I had his right hand, she had his left hand, and we were tugging at him. He's going with me. No, he's going with me. But we didn't want to leave because we wanted to be with our son. Yeah. So that night we actually stayed. And that was like a defining moment where like, okay, we're going to work this out because we have to work it out for our family.
Building a family is an important part of our relationship to me. 3, 2, 1.
I mean, for me, this is a no-brainer. I mean, growing up, I always had this dream of like, I'm gonna have this big family, and it's almost like I just feel like I'm living out this dream. I mean, I know it sounds so simple, but it is literally having children. I mean, we've had a lot of losses also. Sorry. Yeah, we've had 4 children here. We have 4 in heaven. And for us, it was never easy to get pregnant. And when we did, it was such a gift. Sorry, I don't mean to be so emotional, but my kids, my grandkids, now we have a daughter-in-law. I mean, it literally makes my heart so happy when I see them when they walk through the door. I mean, I feel like those are some of our happiest times, just when our children and our family is all together. It's amazing.
That is truly inspiring in so many ways. Like, I truly want to be like, you want to grow up? Like, right now, at the moment, like, you are my family. Oh, yeah. Like, I've always had a big family. Yeah. So that's something that I've always inspired to have. and I couldn't imagine doing that with anyone else besides you. So,
Me as well.
yeah.
The reason I feel like we love each other so much and stay together is because we envision a future of building a family, having a healthy household. And
Yeah. We want to be able to cultivate an environment, see how we do as parents. I think that's what's so exciting about our future is like, how do we break any generational curses and all that stuff? Yeah, and just, you know, become the parents that, you know, have really healthy relationships with our kids. And so that's what I'm super excited for in the future. Yeah.
Obviously, we live with our families, so our family relationship is based on them. But I want to build one with you, and like obviously, like I'm so in love with him. Like, how could I not want to have a kid with him? You know. So like, I want to have a family. Like, have my kids' names picked out already. Like, I've been there.
Kind of have our own identity.
Yeah.
This is my favorite time in our relationship. 3, 2, 1.
We recently went through a rough patch. We're like on the up now, but I feel like we're still there kind of. We're still trying to work through it. So I feel like we've had better moments, but I'm glad that it did happen because now it's only going to make us stronger and we're only going to go up from here.
Yeah, and I'm gonna go with just the cliche answer that, you know, every moment is my favorite moment with her, regardless of whether we're mad at each other or happy. It's just always my favorite.
We've like lived in the same hometown for like years, especially like after college, and this past September we finally moved in together, and that was like the biggest milestone for us. We were like, finally, like we don't have to travel 10 minutes to see each other every time or like sleep over at each other's house, but now we get to live together and like experience like every moment together, whether it's like going to the restroom, like sleeping together, you know, but like it's just like I get to spend every time with him, and so I think that's like helped our relationship so much. We get to like experience life together, and I think that's just such a fun, happy moment, and I think it could only go up from here.
34 years together is a long time, so there's a lot of different phases that we went through. Like we still have 2 kids at home, and now 2 kids are out. But when we had like the 4 kids at home and just a family, it was just so incredible. And now it's just another phase where it's just we have a lot more time together and we can do a lot of fun stuff, but it's kind of hard to discount all that other hardships and some of the really cool things that we did in the past.
There is nothing that tops that feeling of when all your children are in, you know, with their home, or like recently we just had a dinner when all our kids were there, and oh, that's good.
Right now, we are going through a little rough path with my family issue. So I think we spend lesser time from what we used to have with each other.
And I'm so happy like we are able to come here today. And we're in California because we're not from Cali. So like getting the chance to like travel and just like live in the moment, and we have so much more coming and so many more memories that we can make. But right now, at the moment, at the point of our lives, we have some stuff we got to work out, you know. But at the end of the day, it's more memories, and we're gonna get through it. So.
I'm proud to be a citizen of my country. I'm proud to be an